Hello, today I'm going to cover some openings, the same openings I did in the first 2 days, but today I'm going to cover them using the engine as well. It's gonna be a revision of these openings and trying to figure out maybe some potential surprise for black, from black side. So, Bogo-Indian went like this. I go g3 early, and now bishop b4. Now bishop d2, and first let's cover c5. So now, after c5, I have the engine on the other computer, so I don't lag too much on my laptop. But also my other computer is pretty crappy, so I will have some issues. We took and bishop g2 with the idea of going g5 early on. Yeah, this might not work out, but anyways, I'm gonna do it. So here, two moves are mentioned, d5 or castling. Let's first cover d5. When I go with d5, when black goes with d5, then I can go knight d2. Yeah, my computer is just refusing to collaborate. So knight d2, knight c6, knight gf3, castles, and now with b6, I had this idea which I mentioned previously. Oh no, it was in the other line. Okay, so this was rook c1, bishop b7, e3, and we have a very stable advantage. After queen d6, we go queen a4, rook fc8, and now rook c2, you double on the c file and everything is good. And now after this, when I take on d5, I also wonder what happens if c5 here. Is it good? Or is it just giving away all the advantage I have? Because I want to work against this b4 pawn. And I'm gonna check it really quickly with the engine. If my other PC works, of course. So yeah, well, it says that c5 does what? Drum rolls, please. Oh my god, this Stockfish, this computer. I have to buy a new one. But okay, let's try to figure this out. Why does c5 not work? Here it says that black takes on c5, rook c5. Finally. And black goes 97. Okay, you go back to c2. And what happens? Ah, maybe he kicks you away with a6 and a6, knight b6. Something like this, knight b6, and the queen has to go away. Yeah, maybe it's the reason. It's still slightly better, but not something you want. I'm just gonna write down some comments here and okay, here CD5 was the best. But again, my computer is just not working. So after 95, what's going to happen? The engine says E4 is the best. 91 is not even in the top 3. Well, well, well. Okay, so what's up with E4? E4 97 because knight f6. So E4 97. And then bishop h3. Well, isn't that disgusting? Bishop h3, and then what do you want? You want knight c4, you want d5 next. Yeah, that's looking cool. Bishop h3, and then this one, open things up and have a good one. Wait, but I see some crazy line here. I have to check it out. So bishop h3. What does black do? Okay, let's try to just play rook b8 to step away from the pin. Let's say this, knight c4. Knight c4, queen d7, and then d5. Knight d4. Takes. Knight f3, king g2, knight h4 is bad because you just take and take on e6, so here you take, king f3. This one takes f5. What? This still goes. King g2. What the hell is this? Okay, I went too far. And I think I need to use the engine now. On my laptop, not on the other PC, because this other PC is just crap. So let's just risk it, and let's risk blocking the whole thing. So this one, f6, f3, and what do you do? Still you're a pawn up, basically, because 3 against 2 on the queen side means nothing. Yeah, this is one possibility. Once again, I say I'm not going to have this in the game, but it's useful to know some possibilities in the middle game as well. Okay, so here, what's also possible? f5 is a move, actually. But wait, after e4 and this bishop h3. Aha, you cannot capture on d4 because of exchanging rooks and going queen e8, so that's okay. What is f5 actually? f5, queen b5. So the point is not to allow a6, I guess. Because if I allow a6, b5, he might get some space on the queen side. Yeah, that might be the issue. So instead of knight e1, which was proposed, to go e4 and to go for the kill immediately. And what's wrong with this move? Well, nothing particularly wrong. But let's figure out why does the engine not like this move? Well, e4 becomes tougher to get. That's the reason. And maybe black goes with a6, b5 next, and this this thing on the queen side is less bad. If I go a6, what happens? Oh, then something terrible is gonna happen. No. So let's put here question mark. Maybe first go back to d8 and then go a6. Okay, but we solved this one, but what's up with bishop d7 as a move? e3, queen e7, queen e2. Also, knight e5 is very good. No, wait, rook fc8. But here they actually say this, queen d7, and then just take. If knight captures, then we have the good old majority on the queen side, in the center. If ed, then knight b3, b6. Now knight c1, knight d3. That looks interesting. So what? Knight c1. Let's say a5, knight d3. Okay, let's go with something non-committal. Queen e6. But interesting, he wants to play a3. Stockfish wants to play a3 here. And I would like to just play rook c1, queen d2, and apparently I don't understand this position pretty well. Okay, let's go queen d2 just for now. And then maybe go knight f4, rook a1. I think this is a very good position. So I will change this and not play queen e2. Queen e2, bishop e8, rook ac1, also it's okay. I'm gonna put different color. Okay, and they say here also queen e2 is very good. Rook fd8. And now e4, but also rook ac1 was something I mentioned in the previous stream, in the previous video. And my idea was just to fight on the c file, to just take on d5 at some point and to go and double rook c2, rook c1 and fight like that. And it appears to be that engine also likes this line. So I'm gonna just give it a positive sign and move on, because I can see from these lines what the plans are approximately, so I don't have to dig deeper into the lines. It's nothing concrete, so I can just move on. Rook fd8, e4, takes, bishop e8, rook ad1, rook ac8, rook fe1. But wait, somewhere here it began to go wrong after this bishop e8. Knight a5 for some reason is the best move. Knight a5. But I go just b3 and... What you doing? Takes, rook ad1. I should be okay. But bishop e8 led to some trouble according to engine. Bishop e8, rook ad1, rook ac8, rook fe1, and the engine says almost +2. +2 even more. And let's see what's the big issue. So there's one issue with the d5 move, which might come very soon. The second issue is, let's check it. So what's the best move here? h6. Wow. Is it so bad? Let's make a move to see what's the big fuss about. Aha, you play d5 and then ed, knight f6 takes, knight b8. You have to go back. Ouch. So it's this, cd5, knight b8. Yeah, this can't be good. This cannot be good at all. Okay, so d5 shouldn't be a big challenge for white in general. But can I find other plans for black? Let's check. Let's turn off the engine and let's see this reference database. Knight c6, knight f3. Now one game was knight e4, but is it such a big deal? You cannot capture, of course, but you can do something else. 95 is the best. 95 and what then? If you go f5, which somehow goes hand in hand with 94, then you take on e4. If d, then you take and go f3, and you put some pressure on c6 in the end, and this should be okay. Well, more than okay, of course. If you take with the f pawn, again you take, or maybe you go queen a4 first. Nah, you take, and then go here, c5, and then at some point you break with f3. You take with the e pawn, and you put pressure on e6, which to me it seems like it's a clear advantage, so you don't have to think too much. Let's say queen b7, f3, takes, castles. Can I go f4 and not get g5? I would like to play f4, but there's g5. Let's just castle. And if he doesn't play e5 right now, I play f4 and his play is completely dead. So let's just say e5 to make it less stable, let's say. But even then, what does black do? He cannot go queen e7 because c6 hangs. I'm going to go f4 next and slowly stabilize. There's no way that he can punish me here. So yeah, this is just game over almost. So 95, what can he do? If he takes on e5, I take on e5. And now takes. If he takes on c4, I guess you can just exchange queens or take on b4. Yeah, take on b4, why not? And then be an extra pawn. Let's just check it. So, did I make some huge mistake? 95, d5, takes. dc4, queen b4. Yeah, this is very sad for black. I don't have to go further. Here, well, if he goes to c5, I have rook c1 and I'm still having the upper hand in the position. So I don't have to input this. Unless d4 somehow worries me, but maybe I can just take and go rook c1 to avoid this d4, which might block the position a bit. But no, d4 you can just go knight f3 and it's okay. Okay, that's not an issue as well. So 95. Okay, this is one possibility, but again, we can transpose to 95 d5 dc4. What can he do? He can do this, but I take and take here. So that's okay. And I feel like other moves are just transposing in some way. I see here a move like a5, but the plan should not change too much. I just castle, play e3, rook c1, and so on and so on. I cannot cover every single move. I just have to know regular plans, and that should be enough. So here, castles. Yeah, bishop d7, e3, then just don't do what you do. Either knight e5 immediately or queen e2 and e4 quickly. But what happens if castles and now e4? Is there some difference? Wait, here. What's interesting is that e4 is not in top 2. Maybe the reason is that d5 may be an issue. e3 e3 is the best move by engine, which makes lots of sense actually. I'm wondering if I should just abandon this and play e3, knight e2, knight d2, and just focus on the center first and not try to play hyper aggressively. E3, knight c6, knight e2, d5, knight d2, b6 castles, bishop a6. Yeah, that seems okay, but let's see what's the big fuss about e4. And let's check how often it is played. Recently only from the stronger players, Levaich played against Markus and lost with white. d6 is the main move, but let's check d5 because I think in the book it wasn't so precisely covered. So d5, cd5, ed5, e5, and now they mention knight e8 only. But knight e4 deserves some attention, I guess. What's up with that? Knight e4 and knight e2 I can do, and just castle next. Let's say this, castle, f6, which seems the most principled. With knight e4, knight d2. I mean, he cannot capture on d2 and take on e5 because in the end d5 hangs and I still have the extra pawn on the king side, so if he takes like this, he takes queen b3. Wait, what's this? Oh, this is super duper complex. Bishop g4, dc, bishop e2, cb7. And then just bishop e4. I like this. I actually like this. White's better by a lot. You might go queen d5 next and everything is great. The b pawn is a hero. And what happens if I just protect my knight? Well, then I take d here. Interesting. So knight d4 doesn't work for some reason. Knight d4 takes. Why doesn't this work? Knight d4 takes. Maybe just doesn't. This one. This is clever. Okay, so actually this move doesn't really bring too much joy to black. Knight e2, I castle, knight d2, and I can manage from there. I don't need to know the creepiest details about this position. Because actually, out of 300 games, after this move, only 4 are played with d5, so I don't need to know all the intricacies of the position. Unless you prep for me, against me. Shame on you. So let's go for d6. And also, yeah, I forgot to mention, after d5, cd5, e5, knight e8, knight e2, knight c6, castles, knight c7. a3. But also I like this one, knight e2. And bishop g4, knight b3, f6, and just this. And now knight a1 is the best move to get to c2 and e3, which is quite remarkable. And if a3, bishop f5, we take, and knight c3. Which is fine, I have d5 as a target and I cannot ask for more. Okay, that was d5, so after e4, d6, the main move, knight e2. Let me check the database. And the strongest player who played it, Grishchuk, Aronian, Van Hao. I think I saw Grishuk Giri from Candidates, but maybe it was something else. So now what do we have here? We have a move e5, we have a move knight c6. And let's check out the third move, which is Queen c7. Queen c7. That's an interesting one. Or Queen b6. Queen b6. It might transpose. I think you go here a3 and you have something similar to the main line. Yeah, so after 92, e5, now a3, and queen b6 was played. So that can actually transpose pretty easily. But let's check first knight c6. a3, and now if black takes, knight a3, queen a5. That's a drastic jump in evaluation. So what happens on e5? Then d5. Because I'm ready to push d5. Since you don't have knight d4. Let's see, knight b4 or knight b8, because black also always wants to go back to c5, but do you want to go this way or this way? Or maybe the other knight, like this, castles knight d7 and knight c5. This could be a bit annoying, to be honest. Knight c2, queen b6, and he puts his knight to c5. Let's see reference. What does it say? So a3, queen b6, queen d2, and then b3. Yeah, it can be an issue, because after queen d2, b3, you have knight a5. After this, b3 and knight a5 next. And black has some counterplay against c4. Let's say if I castle, just you can go even knight a5 or e5, whatever. So you have to be careful here. I have to be careful. So castle. What about b3? There's no b3. But wait, let's go back. Let's go back. a3. What happens if I take and go e5? Should I just castle? And if queen b6, I want to go c5, but maybe it doesn't work. c5, dc5, knight c4. Some idea like I saw in the book. But there is this. Knight g4. Let's put it here. This is gonna last forever, I feel. But I only have 3 hours, so what you gonna do? So yeah, maybe castles and on queen b6 to go c5. quite reasonable after this. Takes, knight g4, knight c3. And then jump to d5. If he takes on b2, what happens? This one is proposed. And now queen d6. Bishop e6. But wait, why? Why just bishop e6? Aha, because I want to go knight b6 next. I want to go here and take the exchange. So this h3, rook fd8, take on c5, take, go here. Oof, quite rough. And then b5 takes here, e5, rook a b8, rook a7. Black should hold this. I don't like it. It's too simplified. And also black has a b pawn, so I might even get my ass kicked. So no. Let's find something better than c5. c5 seems very, very forced. Maybe I just go here and do something like in the book. If they take on d4 like this, then I take back. And then just do this, rook fd1 and take on d4. So let's promote this. If this, knight b5, rook e8, knight d4, knight e4, and then just rook a e1. Funny move. But then bishop f5. Also doesn't look too promising, to be honest. So what to do here? Bishop e4 takes. Ah, maybe it's this. Maybe I can take. Knight c6, bc, knight d6. Maybe there's some small hope for edge here. Knight c8 takes, queen c3, but then again this is quite small. Okay, so where was I? a3 takes e5, and I told d5 is a bit crazy. Knight c3, knight d7. This, and a5 works out. And then b6, knight c5, and he holds it. I mean, b6, bishop b7, or rook b8, and then knight c5 to avoid b4. And black should be fine. But maybe I can also go just castle and keep this equilibrium on the queen side and go for f4 and some kingside attack. Looks also very interesting. But yeah, I'm gonna skip it for now, and after I do this video I'm going to also do much more than I show here, because I have to do it and I cannot just have a 10-hour video on this. Just too much. 3 hours is just enough. So after this, they shown just this queen d2 takes, and that white is better, but actually the engine says it's much better. 1.5 on Stockfish. And I don't have to look at some lines. I can see from here that it's much better. But what happens if queen b6? If I go queen d2, then b3. Okay, we castle. And now one of the moves is b3, which is quite awkward for me. Knight bc3. Can you go knight a5? If knight a5, then what does one do? You go just queen d3 and knight a4, or what? Oh, c5. Ah, yeah, c5 and knight a4. What am I missing? Yeah. After this, knight a4 and then take on c5 with the knight. Okay, let's put exclamation mark. So what here? e5, but you can just continue rook c1, and if he takes knight d5, and you're fine. You're much more than fine. And queen b6 castles on... Wait, on a5 you take on b4, take, and knight a3 to head for b5. And now e5 or else. A4 looks interesting, and it's one of top choices. A4. And then this. I think this is okay. I think it's okay even if black gets his knight to c5. So after the e5, knight b5. What? And it's better for white, but let's see. So this one, and what happens if you take on c4? Knight d6, queen e6. Knight c8, queen c8 to avoid d5, but anyways, you play d5, knight b4, knight c3, and you're supposed to be fine. But here actually maybe it's just bishop d7 or capture even. Let's say bishop d7, b3. And then it gives this line, e d4, knight d4, knight d4, takes, and a4. Which is somewhat simplifying the whole position. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. ba4, queen c4, knight a5, takes, d5. Yeah, I think this is just simply equalizing. So let's find something else. Takes, knight a3. Maybe here. No, maybe here e5, and here not to play knight b5 but to play d5. He goes back to b8 and maybe to go here to d3. After this, knight d3, queen b6 back. What does it say? b3, h5. What? What about king h1 with f4 next? And is this so bad? Knight g4 maybe, huh? Well, even this is quite nice for black. And then this might get interesting. No, but actually black goes bishop d7, rook b8, b5, and it has enough counterplay. So that's not gonna work out. Not happening. So over here, I would like for c5 to work out, but I don't really see it work out. If I go b3, then he goes knight c5 anyways. And what do I do? I can take. Queen d2, then just double maybe. Knight c2, rook a2. But I don't see any way to make a progress here. He might play h5, h4 to discourage later on my playing f4 next, because the g4 will become weak once you exchange on g3. So let's say this, I just ignore this, h4, I ignore even more, and then you can take on g3. Take, and then every f4 move is with some dose of restraint, because g4 becomes an outpost. So, what to do? Here, castle a5 takes knight a3. Okay, let's go back here. e5. Can I do something else? Let's just wait with b3. What does black do? Let's go for something forced, like this one. And if I go here, bishop g4. Oh, this is crazy. This one, ab3, works out. I cannot capture like this because after this, he just takes. And with this, takes. Yeah, it's not pleasant. Not pleasant at all. But how to find something here? Knight b8, c5 now maybe, or... It's like Dubov just going for the craziness. c5, queen c5. And then I wanted to go rook c1, but for some reason it doesn't work. Something like this, and yeah, bishop b5 comes next, so nothing of that. So this e5. No, wait, queen b6 castles a5. Here, and e5. Knight b5 with better prospects. So we were here. So b3 maybe just makes it more forced. But let's check it again. This knight ed4. Wait, what's this move? Knight c7. Rook ac8, knight. If I go here, what happens? This. Oh, this one, a4. I don't like it. So after this, takes a4. How can I even count on some advantage? I can take queen c4, knight jumps, or a3, a5, and then just this, and my pawn is a bit risky. Bishop e6, and then we trade off at least a5 for b7, and it should turn out to be a draw. The more I'm looking at this, the more I think I should not play e4 so early. Because when I played, it seems to me that black always gets some simplification, or at least gets his knight to c5. Because if I do something like this, if I do e3, then I go knight e2, knight d2. I don't care if he goes d6, e5, I will always hold the center, and maybe this is the best way to play this. But okay, let's not discard the whole variation just yet. Let's do e5 first. Let's check all the variations, and if there's too much, if there are too many problems in these lines, then I can switch. So here they mentioned queen b6 castles, and now e5, d5, knight e7, queen d2, ba3, knight a3, and why don't they go knight d7? Ah, because of b4, okay. That makes sense. Foolish of me. A5 and now c5. This is the dream world when white gets c5 on time and everybody's happy, but there's an issue. You can also go knight c1 here. Knight c1, knight d3, because in case of black playing knight d7, I can go knight b5, and you cannot go knight c5 because of b4. So that's something, but c5, if you achieve this, then it's pretty nice. And I also wonder about this endgame, if it's so bad for black. Knight b6, wait, knight e8, knight b6. Okay, rook a5, rook a7, f5 takes, knight f5, knight b6, knight f6, rook a4, and white has an advantage. Okay, that's nice. That's nice of him. So we have this e4, d6. Let me just put here some color to know it's not from the book. Okay, d6, 92, and then e5. Let's check that first. The second, of course. A3. Okay, a3, and now queen b6. Let's check database. Well, you have Avruk, Grishchuk, Pelletier, Hansen. So the main move is queen b6. Castles. Wait, let's check if... There's knight a6 as well. We take, queen d2. What happens on this move? Knight a3, a5. Is there some game? No. So now we just castle. Maybe this bishop goes to d7. Aha, then I have c5, yeah. That's clever. c5, and if he goes here, I take. This should be okay. e5 as well. This becomes more and more interesting. After this, f4. d3, knight c3. Oh, okay, this is a nice one. h3 next, and I think I have a good position. I don't say everything is under control, but I think it's a good position for white. But here they mentioned this. Castle, bishop e6. Knight a3, queen b6, and now c5 again. And now this. Yeah, this is just game over. Almost. But wait, what happens in b5? 95? 95, c4. This could be interesting if the pawns start marching, like some queen c5, knight a6, b4, and so on. Or when the knight moves from e5 to get to d3, that could be interesting. Okay, so I'm tired already. Wait, bishop e6, knight a3, queen b6, c5, but wait, I missed something. Aha, there was some inaccuracy there, which was mentioned. I don't need to go through that. And over here, ba3 takes, knight c6, castles, queen b6, queen d2, and now a5. Wait, if they go knight a5, what do I do? Queen c3. Queen c3. And then I go for c5 next. Maybe this and bishop e6 to put pressure on c4. This, rook a8. I can do this. Or just rook takes d4. Plus equal. Easy. No problems. Queen b6, queen d2, and if this, then I take and rook fd1, and it's a clearly better position. Okay, so After this, bishop g4, f3, bishop h5. Maybe it's better just to go back. Let's say bishop d7. Queen d2, queen b6, and then just do that. And you're fine. So queen b6, castles, rook e8. Wait, what about b3? Knight d2, knight c6. You can take, right? You can take. Maybe a5. This seems the most concrete. a5 here, a4. Wait, what? Rook c3. Oh, rook c3. That's cold. That's cold. d5, knight a5, and then take it, take it. Bishop h3. Should be okay. With knight c1, targeting this pawn again. Okay, so here, castle, rook e8. And now we take knight a3, bishop g4, f3, bishop d7, b3, a5, queen d3, knight a6. But now we just continue this plan. Knight c5. Okay, here. Ah, yeah, queen b3, rook a3 wins on the spot. Rook cb1, rook a6, knight c3, and now white has some edge, but it's not a small edge, it's a very big one. And here I was asking myself what's possible on knight b3. And let's see if I got this one right. This, knight d4, knight a1. If a4, what happens? Wait, is this the best move actually? Queen b6, rook b6, knight d4. If knight a1, rook b6, a4, rook b7. Okay. And then the best move is knight b3, but okay, on rook c8, bishop f1 should be okay. Bishop f1 is very good. Defends c4, but on this knight b3 you just take twice and you're a pawn up. So this one, this is not good. Let's delete this. And yeah, here a4 is the best by engine. We take those. Rook b4, rook b3, rook c4, knight b5, here, rook a8. Everything is forced, more or less. And now just h6. Well, this is gonna be tough to defend, I guess. I have to check out some lines, especially at move 8 or 9. I think it's move 8. Here, with knight c6, a3, queen b6. This is a bit critical, because I'm not sure how it goes after this. Knight a3, just bishop d7, or even a4. How does it work? e5, knight b5, bishop d7, and all this line a4. Seems like black is just equalizing so easily. So I have to work on that even more, but that's gonna be off YouTube and off any streaming service. And otherwise, it's okay. I think after a3, queen b6, this knight a6 is not so bad for me. Bishop e6, knight a3. This one is okay, really good. Maybe here after ba, knight a, bishop g4, f3, bishop d7. This is also quite good. Rook fd1, and I like this one. I can go with c5 at some point and sack a pawn, knight c4, d5, and have a nice one. And after castling, rook e8. Yeah, all of that rest is good. Just this 8 move is a bit critical. Knight c6, and what to do then? Maybe first to castle and then to think what next. Okay, next the next one is bishop takes d2. So we have this. Let me just check if, yeah, the board is okay. We have this g3, bishop d2, and now we take and take with the queen. And let's check this position, how often it is played. Okay, almost 1,000 games. Not so bad. And here it mentions that d5 is mentioned. They won't mention d5, dc4 because it's in the first volume. Yeah. I'm gonna check it out later. So here they just have d5 and castle, I guess. D5 castle. Let's first cover this one. And again this d6, e4. On top level, let's check it out. From black side, no one from 25 plus. Also with white, nobody played it. Which is a bit strange. And now they mention e5 as a move. Knight e2. To be more flexible. Okay, now what? c5. What? But that's just too... Knight c6, knight c3. It's like King's Indian, but very poor. Okay, they just mentioned this c5 and I block it. Knight a6, this, a4, b6, knight c1. Wait, this is Damjanovic Popovic, I think. Let's check it. Yeah. And it's quite nice how white manages here to get some space. b4 now. c4, knight b2, ba4. Yeah, what happens on ba4? That's my question. Knight c4. Or just rook a4. Knight f6. This, and now queen c2 is one of the moves. Oh, wow. And then you take, and it's supposed to be okay. Okay, this one with e5 is not... What about d5? e5, knight e4, takes, and they mention here that it's not so good. Knight c3. Ah, they mentioned b6, not b5. b5 is something else. cb5, bishop b7, queen e3. There might be something. After a6, knight e2, takes. There's for sure some compensation when you go for f6 at some point, or just knight c6, knight b4, knight d5. So yeah, b5 is interesting in this line. If knight e8, what happens? Takes, knight c3, c6, f4. Yeah, that's too much. But this one is interesting. I didn't see this coming. Knight c3 and b5. What happens if I capture with the knight? Bishop b7, queen e3 to stop e3. Maybe c5, or... Yeah, let's go c5, but I can just defend this. Go for a castle and just claim betterness. This seems good. Wait, what's up with this? Oh, you don't take on d3, you take on f8 first. Okay, that's fair enough. Queen b6, f4. Well, that can be too sharp, I guess. That might turn out too sharp. Also, I'm gonna check it out in more detail, but what is that? So here, e5, e4. So we said the c5 is c5 is bad because of this, and e5. Queen d2, knight d2, knight g4, f4. And if they go knight e3, then bishop e4. And then just king e2 and kick the knight away, knight f3, and it's quite normal. f4 with the pleasant edge. Okay, that's good enough for me. And also we saw e5 with this. Okay, so we'll check out the move d5, knight f3, and now dc4 is not going to be covered because it's in the other book. Castled, bishop g2, knight d7. So what happens if b6? Then we take, castles, bishop b7, knight c3, knight bd7, rook a c1, rook e8, rook fd1. And now a6. Queen c2, knight f8. Knight f8, b4. Queen e7, queen b3, knight e6, e3. That's a nice one. We have a small edge, but it's a pleasant one. And also here, if c5, then knight h4. Wait, is there something better? Takes, this, knight h4, then. If knight b6, knight f5. This could also be good, but hanging pawns are always a bit tricky to deal with. I like this one more to keep it fixed. And if c4, to go knight f5. Or like in the book, wait, let's delete this one. c4, they said b3. Takes, and again knight f5 comes. Ah, wait. If they take on c4 like this, there is knight a3. And then if they try c5, I take. Knight e4 is not so good. After this, knight d6 and... or just rook a c1. Bad position. And if this bishop d7 to get bishop c6, now they say knight c4, but why not this one first? Why not? And then you take the bishop. If he tries this, you just take on c6, knight c6, and then you go either e3, but he might have some e5 as a response, so maybe this is the best, and then take on c4. Okay, but they mentioned this, bishop c6. Bishop c6, castles, knight d7, rook fc1, bishop d5, and then b4, just to stop c5. Queen e7, queen b2, this one, knight a5, knight b8, and then just exchange this. The engine doesn't dislike for white. So this c6 and just e3, and you slowly improve very nicely. So the next move is queen e7 actually. Castles, and now again b6. We take those, take knight c3, bishop b7, and now knight h4. Aha, they mentioned here g6, but I can go queen g5 then. By day I mean Stockfish. Queen g5, and I might even go f4 next, if I can. So g6 is always a bad move. And if he tries knight e4 instead, then you take here, and d5. And then the e4 becomes pretty much alone. Bishop d5 doesn't work because of queen takes. Queen takes knight e7, so that's not gonna work out. Rook e8, then just this. And you take on e4. If he tries this one, you take and go d6, and it's a disaster. White is more active, and also as a compensation he has a better structure. So maybe this is the best, but you go here, knight a6, rook fd1, and then just rook ac1, a3, b4, and also there's some jump on f5, so it's a very bad position. Queen e7, castles, and if dc, then again this move. Rook d8, knight c4, c5, rook fd1, And now if cd4, I wanted to mention this. If this, now you cannot push e5 because of knight f5. So the queen has to go move back, because I want to go knight f5 anyways. Because in that case, rook takes d2, knight e7 is with check. So you have to go back like this, but it allows me too much. I can just step away from the pin like queen a5, and then you can't move, basically. You cannot move. Knight e6 might come next, actually, and you're done. So this knight c6 might be the best, but even that, after queen b3, and seems like too much pressure for black. And also here in this position, knight a6 is maybe the one. But after this, black doesn't solve that many issues. Wait. Here the engine screams knight f7 actually. Knight f7, and what happens on this? Knight e5, king g8, bishop b7. So can I just give up like this, and if bishop a8, go rook a8, knight d7 here, and dc5, and I have 3 pawns and the rook for 2 knights. Yeah, that should be good enough. So let's put exclamation mark here and put some color. So here knight f7, if queen f7, then knight e5, let's say queen e8, bishop b7, bishop b5, takes, then just take knight c5, f3, and you try to limit these knights. Go rook c1 next, and that should be enough. 2 pawns and the rook for 2 light pieces. It should be enough, especially when you set them up like this to limit the bishop and also the knight to jump to e4 and g4. Okay, so I made a break. dc4 is also slightly worse. Bishop g2, knight d7. Castles, and now c6. If I go queen, if he goes queen e7, queen c2 now. So what's the plan? To stop b6? So c6, knight d2, and now e5. Take on d5, knight d5, then this. Rook c1, and it should be okay. But wait, here they mentioned dc4. to meet knight a3 with e5. But there's a4. Okay, what else? Rook c1 is also interesting. But let's go a4. With b6, then you jump. Take bishop a6, knight a3, c5. Go here and just... this changes a lot. I can just go rook d1 and continue pressure. But I guess even e5 is okay. Knight d5, knight b5, and white's much better. a4, queen e7, this, and e5. It says that knight e5 is also okay. Knight c4, not so much. e4, knight e5, knight b6, knight e3. Wait, here rook d8 says it's equalizing more or less. So actually here this was the best choice. And then go for something like queen c3 and what then? a5, b4, a5 to somehow fix the queen side. Okay, so knight c4. Okay, let's I'll fix it later. So I found a small crack. So knight c4, immediately e4. Knight e5, knight b6, knight e3, and then c5. dc5, queen c5, a5 takes ab, a6. Aha, that's the point. a5 is the best. a5 is the best, and you don't allow rook a5. Simple as that. So what happens on rook a4? Bishop d7. On rook a3, bishop e6, rook fa1, queen b5. Wait, queen b5. Aha, you take on b6 and it just fizzles out in a draw. Take on b6 and it's equal. Okay. So instead of this, you capture on e5 twice and take on c4, go queen c3 next, a5, b4, and like this. Take, 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 queen e7, queen c3, and continue. Okay, that's dc4. a4, and that was queen e7, but what happens on c5? Rook d1, queen e7, knight a3. That's a drastic jump. No, it's not. Knight a3, cd4, knight d4. Wait, queen d4, e5, and now queen c3, not to allow knight b6 with tempo. And now they go e4, knight d4, knight c5. Ah, that's the problem. Knight b6. Knight b6 is the move. That's the move. And now knight c4, knight c4. And what, h5? Why that? No, let's play something more human. I mean, these days h5 is the most human move there is, but let's find something that develops properly. Rook d8 or bishop d7, but bishop d7 you might run into queen c7, I guess. Queen c7, and maybe you have this actually. You take rook ab8, queen a7, so it's not actually working out. What about this? This takes. Here go rook ab8, takes. Seems a lot simplified, but I think I would like to play against the odds. We have 4 against 3 on the king side, and to have this kind of endgame. Rook d3, rook b7, and just grind slowly, and that's something I like, so it's not so bad. I might cut short this today's session because I feel so exhausted, and maybe I make it up to tomorrow, maybe with 4 or 5 hours. I always say that, but never comes true. I hope it does. If this happens, then knight c4, bishop d7, and now queen b4 is the issue. Because now the knight is pinned and there's no freedom in black's position. What happens if this? What happens if this is played? Knight b5. Okay, takes ab. Please be ab. Yep. b6. And then what? Knight e3. That's nice. I like this move. It defends from knight g4. It controls d5, so everything is under control. But black can also be quite solid. Rook c7. And how do I proceed here? Maybe I can just play slowly and poke for the holes. Just provoking cracks in the position. Yeah, I should just put plus minus and figure this out if it happens in the game. Okay, so here knight d5 is just bad because of knight f5. After this, you just lose too much. Too much freedom. You don't lose material per se, but you just don't have the freedom with the rooks. Knight on c5 is trapped there, defending e4 and b7, so you cannot hope for much. If bishop a4, which seems like the only critical line here. Aha, you have rook dc1. And what happens on this? You take. Oh, I like this. Come on. It's an easy play. If bishop c2, then knight ef5. What did I just do? Knight d5. Better, and then you attack the knight. If the knight captures, then you take on c2 and attack the knight on c5. If it moves, then bishop takes e4, take on b7 next, and it's awful. Horror story. Okay, so I was around here. Wait a sec. Here. No. Excuse me. So c6 here. Instead of dc4 and queen e7. So here they propose knight e5. But it's actually slightly worse for white. And let's see why. Now it's stabilizing. Takes knight d7, f4. B5 is the move also. Well, what's up with that? cd5, queen b6, e3, cd5. I'd like queen d4, but he might just capture. Wait, if he takes here, and if he goes b3, let's say, bishop a6, rook c1, b4 looks quite logical, knight d2. I think I'm slightly better, but nothing more than that. Because I might have some advance on the king side by f5 or g4 f5, but does it bring me that much when I just exchange rooks on the open file? Does it though? I don't know, this seems a bit dry. I would say it's slightly better for me, but it's different when you're slightly better when you have material, and when you're slightly better with some crazy reduced position. So I'm gonna be reserved about this one. But what's the best move here? The best move is queen c2, b6, knight d2, bishop b7. But he gets his c5, which is actually why knight e5 is played in the first place. So let's try to figure this out. Knight e5. Takes, knight d7, f4, and how to play against b5. You cannot play b4, b3 because of bc, and bishop a6. And this seems already a bit too much. So no, not like this. So let's suffer this endgame. e3, cd5, then queen d4. Let's go for this one. But also he doesn't have to capture on d4. He can just go b4 and bishop a6. Let's say this, a5. Some logical moves. Rook fc1, bishop a6. Then maybe f5. Who knows? Who knows? But let's put some pressure on e6. Or takes, and then b3, followed by maybe this, b3, and then I go knight f3, knight d4. jump around. But even in that case, if I achieve everything I ever wanted, it's still a question if I can capitalize on that. This just do I have rook c3 or just this, or you might even counterplay by a4. Why not? No, this is not gonna work out. Black gets too much play. Black just has too much play on the a file and don't see this one working out. So b5, can I do something else? I mean, if I take on b5, it's all the same. He gives a check, I go e3, he takes on b5 with the pawn and it transposes. So let's try to find the other way. But wait, what's wrong with this immediately? What's so wrong about it? So now I go queen d4, but he goes the same, queen b6. And if I take, okay, at least I didn't spend tempo on king h1, so that's a slight, or on e3, a slight improvement. But even that, what? Now this one, maybe in this case he doesn't. I don't have. Black doesn't have knight c4 because the e3 pawn doesn't hang this variation. So maybe this is slightly more favorable, but is it though? Is it really? Knight c4, and do we want to capture really? Capture, maybe e4. We get something. Bishop c6, and now b3. Well. Look at me now. Look at me. Look at me. What am I doing? Look at me. Well, at least it's an easy draw. It's a very easy draw. So here, maybe I needed b3 and then knight d2. f6. What about this? To just neglect and go for this. It can backfire, of course, but at the moment I don't see how is black going to attack my pawn. Rook f5, I can just go knight f3 and rook c7 next, so that's not an issue. If he goes here, then just take it, rook c1, and I penetrate. I'll have knight d4, bishop h3, and it's a very nice position. So you can't so easily do that. I go here, king f7, knight d4, king e7. What now? Bishop h3 or bishop... Wait, what? Bishop h1 is the move. Come on, what's the point? Bishop f3. So what? You want king f2, king e3? That's clever. And I think this is very good. You can never attack on d7 because always I have some targets like b5 pawn or knight c6 as a move, so This might work out actually. But that's only in case he takes immediately. If he doesn't give a check. And now on this, in d4, if he takes, it's much different this way. What about this in a5? Ah, there's this move. Okay, so there is some hope here. It's not so dead drawn, I'd say. But what they mention in the game is this, and now dc4. Knight c4 takes rook d7, and now this, and you get the play. Take it. So the best continuation here was to go b5 or even f6. That's also quite interesting. Just to break this pawn wedge. And then I have to capture on d5 and then take on f6. Who knows? Yeah, I have to take this with a grain of salt. This 95 idea. Maybe to go for queen c2